showtime. Dynamite Download. Welcome to Dynamite Download, your source for positive coverage of all elite wrestling.
This is what pro wrestling feel like.
I told you guys, positive energy. I think that created a little moment in itself.
You're saying I have a better record than Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, and now I'm going to have to wrestle them.
Super kick, hot
I've never seen someone able to break down like wrestling like he does.
That punk, that long-haired hippie freak.
My real story does connect with a lot of people.
That you need to be careful in the locker room.
I definitely think that women's wrestling has been elevated.
And with the loss of Brody, I feel like we were just kind of a little bit directionless.
I was like deep diving into like cults.
Raw horse.
Raw horse?
Oh my god!
Amazing. I had to smack him around a few times to fully gain his respect.
You said that in front of the voice of a generation?
Versus Frankie's match.
Awesome.
This podcast is quite frankly the drizzling shit, if I'm being quite honest.
The day spread positivity about AEW.
Welcome to Dynamite Download.
Woo! I got 2 words for you. Feel the wrath. Okay, that's 3 words, but feel the wrath. Because they can feel and they've got wrath. They're babes. The babes of wrath.
Babes of Wrath, baby.
Tag team champions.
Your shirt is still
stoked
fitting
about it.
for a background for Winter is Coming, too.
Yes, very nice.
The crispy, frosty blue. I was rocking our Dynamite Download jersey. I was like, let me pull this baby out and pull out the jersey. And I saw it go there from All In. It was can't wait to rock it at another show sometime soon. What is up, everybody?
I got the Statlander shirt again tonight. The Statlander, our women's world champion.
Yeah, there we go.
That's also but that's also honoring the babes of wrath. Yes, the snake as well. This was when my heart was won over. I was happy would have been happy with any outcome, but I was so stoked and over the moon and how happy and how legit happy those ladies were. What an all-time Dynamite last night. I mean, insane.
I mean,
insane.
it was. I mean, the card was stacked for sure with 2 inaugural titles, the world title match, plus the Continental Classic kicking off, a Dream Team Tornado Tag match. It was it lived up to everything and its hype and then some. I mean, it was just such a phenomenal card, top to bottom. And like the commentator said, Winter is Coming is always one of the marquee shows of the year, which was kind of shocked to hear that. But I gotta put my other microphone. There we go. Switching the mic.
Much better.
You're absolutely right about that because it was just looking at this card. I mean, wow. Like,
it's quite the wiener biter.
Yeah, Okada's got some great facials, whether it be, winning, calling someone a bitch or getting bit, below the waist somewhere or whatever it may be. Okada. It was pretty funny on that one. But man, what a great show overall! I'm stoked at this one leading into the special Winter's Coming overseas Saturday afternoon, which is going to be live coast to coast, which is great. Like we've talked about before, live collisions just hit a little bit different than taped ones for some reason. For me, maybe just because they got to get what get what they've been given and not be able to do retakes or retapes or voiceovers or anything like that. It just felt a little different. But man, what a way to kick off the week of wrestling. Excuse me.
Insane. And we're going to talk about all these matches. And I love that they kicked off with this for its prominence, because if you're not going to put this as the main event, you got to start with it. Also, because there's just such a feel-good moment. By the way, yes, there we go.
Thanks, Brent.
The general is in the house. let's see what we got for the general here. I'm going to go super stat party because I'm wearing the shirt. So here we go. Awesome. Thank you, General. We salute you.
Thank you. He must be pumped because we're pumped, and he chiming in right off the bat off this match, the women's match of the night, which is not always about quantity, it's quality. And, this is the next stepping stone of the women's division that's, to me, has had its best year in AEW in 2025.
Agree.
Finally,
Absolutely.
we have the next chapter of the depth of the division with tag team title belts, which is long overdue. And we crowned the inaugural tag team champs. And like you were just saying before we got that super stat party about if this isn't going to be main event, I know last week we were talking about, we should be a main event. However, most of the time the world title, men's or women's, is the main event. More often than not, the men's one is the main event of a show or a pay-per-view. But to give this one its time and to kick things off of the show, definitely set the bar for the night. Very, like, I was happy either way. This could have been a coin flip, and I think the Babes of Wrath are, which is shocking, more over than the Timeless Love Bombs. And they're just going to be a fun party, fun crowd, fun first tag team to go against, and that'll give their opponents so much more heat when they go against these red or white hot baby faces with the Babes of Wrath.
Oh, and first of all, we got to give the Hot Atlanta crowd a lot of credit. They were really behind a lot of these matches. We're going to talk about the match of the night, though. It's like every match delivered, in my opinion. Even
100%.
But yeah, significant others. Not a big Okada fan. I did enjoy this match, but the Babes of Wrath. This was the right call. This was the feel good moment. You gotta, they work well together. It's almost like they finally found a place for Harley Cameron to kind of go long term on, because she, everywhere she went, we talked about Harley Rub, she was improving, helping everybody else, but now she finally got her first piece of gold, and she's been busting her tail. Ever since that match she had in Perth against Mercedes Moné, she has been legit and she's improving in the ring. Her and Will, two such likable people. Of course, speaking of likable people, you can't. Tony, I think it was funny too because these were four of the top merch sellers, top most popular women in the women's division. Arguably, Mina is like the least popular of the four, but that's like saying the ugliest supermodel. Or like that's like saying the least delicious Oreo cookie. They're all fantastic. I mean, every one of them. And Mina was great in this. Tony, of course, was fantastic. But like, I think the highlight for this, we all love Willow, we all love Tony, we all love Mina. But the highlight to me was how far Harley Cameron has come in such a short amount of time, and how she's so talented everywhere else, but how she has become she's become great in the ring. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, you talk about growth year after year. Like she could be easily our breakout star of the year for the women's division, which I think for our award show, we should do a breakout star of the year for women's and for men's.
Yeah.
And, QT had a great post. I know he's been training her. I know he took her under the wing. He kind of really started seeing her personality and her wings, spread with the QTV stuff, which is really funny. Like the knockoff of TMZ Live. But I agree, man. I think like this was the right booking, and like Brent's saying and like Steven's saying in the chat, like, when we were first getting the brackets or doing fantasy booking of just blank brackets, like this was definitely a team that I did not predict. Definitely a team that I did not see winning per se. No knock against them, but it just seemed like the way the trajectory of the women's division was going at the time, like a Sisters of Sin or the Mega Bad, the Mega Problem, like anyone, I felt like, Ty J were the favorites except these. And so it was a nice, fun underdog story. And I have no problem against the babyface versus babyface. We got the handshake after the match. We got the jump around party at the end of the, backstage with the conglomeration. And, no Luther, not necessary. Luther is that wild card ace in the hole for the heel, kind of, stopping a heel from doing something dirty. So it was smart not putting Luther out there, even though we all love Luther and everything that he does. But yeah, this is a great send off to an awesome inaugural tournament for the tag team champions. Look at it doesn't have to be good versus evil all the time, even though that's a fun, compelling story. But this was still, giving the sickos what they wanted. With this send off, with all four ladies with their hands held high, no shenanigans, a clean win, a clean victory. We didn't get confetti, but we did get some pyro at the stage there.
Can I just really quick? I don't think it's a hot take. It's just something that kind of I can't decide if I love it or hate it. AEW is purposely teasing us with dropping a little bit of confetti from the ceiling, especially right before a title match. They did that crap with Eddie Kingston last night. They like right when before Eddie came down, they started little pieces of confetti were floating down.
I didn't even notice.
And it was just it's like stop doing that, AEW, because you're really making me go, wait a second, is this going to happen? Because we had some upsets last night. Right. And I mean, was this going to happen? And I mean, that was, and I don't know if that's on purpose or not. If it's on purpose, it's diabolically genius, because I'm sitting there, my overbooking mind, I'm watching these little pieces of confetti. I'm like, Eddie's going to win. They're going to give him his moment. And then, of course, then the result happens and you're like, dirt. But that's the stuff they do. But you're absolutely right. There was no confetti for this group. But I got to tell you, better than confetti was the genuine reaction. Like, this is real emotion.
You can see the tears. You can't fake
this at all. The genuine, this was the locker room saying, Willow, Harley, we love you, and this is, you deserve this. And you look at this picture. Every fan, except this one lady who knows what's going on with her, but every fan is smiling in this picture. Every fan is just, this is a genuine moment, and this is why we love this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you could see like after she hit her finisher and like Willow was doing that and then got the pin, and like she was almost like in shock and in awe of holding the belt. And it was raw and genuine, and you felt it. And it was a great moment. It was a great moment for the women's division. And let's bring on the competitors. Let's start stacking that tag team division. Let's start to see some more teams. Let's start to see some returns. Let's see a team forming, a formidable one.
Tony Khan,
I'm ready for it.
Tony Khan, you need to go look into Fire and Fury. Let's if you really want to enhance the women's tag team division, bring in Fire and Fury, Nova Phoenix and Morgan Mercy. It would be a fantastic heel team. You put Stokely in as their manager, or it would be a no-brainer. I think you had to do that. But anyways, I digest.
Here you go, Okada versus Perry, an eye for an eye, bite for a bite. Jack Perry, Jungle Jack Perry's debut match in the Continental Classic after replacing Darby Allin. I do like that replacement choice, even though we had a couple of things in mind. He's got an uphill battle because he already was going into 0 points, losing the first match, and now he had to go up against the reigning and defending Continental champion with Okada. So quite the tall task to go right into the deep end per se with Jungle Jack. But man, this was a great match. Like, I loved how the commentators were saying like this is his first singles match and since he's returned from injury or returned from being away. And Okada, man, there's a reason why he's who he is, because he can sell so damn good. He's got such great offense. He's got such innovative stuff, and man, the pacing of his match was so great as well, and all the shenanigans after the fact. But I love the storytelling from both these guys. Like this was such a, the Continental Classic is already become such a marquee must-see match every single week, and we're not even halfway done. The Blue League still, they don't have any 3-rounder matches yet. We only saw a couple Gold League ones, so there's still a lot of wrestling in the Continental Classic with a lot of heavy hitting matches ahead of us. Mm-hmm. And that's what's great about this tournament so much, man. It was great showing by both guys. Okada continuing to get momentum back after losing that first one, and this is setting up for bigger wars after this tournament's over too.
They are. And there was a lot of very interesting tactics in this match. Definitely, you got to hand it to Jack Perry. Of course, Jack Perry saying that then they ambush him and they try to bully him into joining the Callis family. Luchasaurus comes down, the Bucks come down, and we get that confrontation. And if you notice in the beatdown on Jack Perry, Takeshita was reluctant. He did join in, and he did save Don Callis from getting the kick. But I think it's interesting that Takeshita is really he's showing signs of dissension, of not agreeing, going with the family's plans and stuff. So we're almost there. But yeah, I think this is great. Don Callis coward heel moment. Look,
when he came back in the ring and it was just him and he's like dancing around with no socks, and then it was very surprising that Takeshita was the one to be the sacrificial lamb too with the
Okada. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't Okada, it was Takeshita. So as much as could there be a swerve of the family turning on Okada instead of turning on Takeshita? Would we see a swerve of that or what?
No, it's going to be Takeshita, because what they're doing is they're making that Takeshita's loyal. That's a babyface trait. He's loyal to the family, and that's going to be the thing, is he's going to be the one doing all this stuff, and yet Callis is going to favor Okada. And
wouldn't that be crazy? Okada turns babyface. I like Okada so much as a heel though, so it's so fun.
He's a much better heel, I think.
Takeshita doesn't have like that. He screams babyface with his offense and his presentation and all that, but he doesn't have like the heel emotion, the heel punchable face that we talked about last week. With
Okada's got that, definitely. Right. Okada's got that. So I felt like this was a really, really, really good Dynamite. I was on a high from the Babes of Wrath winning. I was really enjoying myself. I would say this was a great episode of Dynamite. And then this happened.
I almost wanted to talk about this right off the bat, but I needed to kind of pace ourselves, let the crew show up in the chat and let others arrive, because I wanted to get everyone's take. But holy cow, in a Dynamite that features the inaugural women's tag team match and belts being announced, that a Dynamite that is featuring a tornado tag with Dream tag team of Hangman and Swerve, and a Dynamite that has a main event free TV world title match with two badass guys, with Kingston and Samoa Joe. These two, Fletcher and Bailey, are like, hey, let's go out there and have match of the year and just kill it tonight.
Match of the year.
Nonchalantly, and just put on an absolute killer clinic. And holy cow, this was definitely, Steven, match of the night, match of the tournament so far. Everyone is going crazy on socials of just how good this was. The amount of false finishes, the amount of selling, the amount of perfection, chef's kiss to everything, as you like to say, on this one. I don't know if you throw in that photo of the first match that I had in there. We can get to, there it is.
Well, that's Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher on the left, Bailey on the right. This is the first match. He looks like Adam Cole on the left. He looks like freaking Adam Cole, little skinny Adam Cole.
Good Lord.
I don't know if you caught Excalibur. He's like, it was about 6-7 years ago. 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, we heard that.
But Danielson was correct, man. It was a worlds away difference for Fletcher. But Wow, incredible, man. You're right. You're spot on, Brett.
This
How
is
lucky we
great.
are. And
This
these
is
guys are still, Fletcher. I
young.
love what he said about he tweeted today something along the lines of like what he's afraid of is reaching his max potential or something like that. And these guys surprised me more than anything last night. And Speedball especially surprised me, like a reminder of like, damn, this guy is just incredible with his knee stomps, his flips, and his offense and everything, and all barefoot too.
This
Salivating.
These are two of the best, and these are going to be two of the best in AEW for at least a decade. These guys, don't let them leave AEW. These two are going to be. They already are. I mean, Kyle Fletcher has become, and I don't say this just the comparison, whatever. He has become kind of the Randy Orton of AEW. He is that
That's a
guy.
great compliment.
He is the Viper. He is the protostar, and he is every match. He is phenomenal, no matter who he wrestles. But you're putting him in the ring with these other phenoms, and you put him in Speedball. Now, I don't know if it was partly, I would even argue this. I'm thinking Orton kind of in his prime, but yeah, I think psychologically, I doubt this was actually planned. But one of the complaints Full Tilt Deb and I have had is why are Speedball and Kevin Knight losing so much? They're such a great tag. They put on such a great show, but they were getting so many L's as a tag team.
Right.
And they're taking so many L's. That made this victory over Kyle Fletcher of all people, who I still think is going to get to the finals.
For sure.
So much of and I know the Hotlanta the crowd was phenomenal, but every one of these near falls you thought was it, then it wasn't. And everybody everybody was going insane. We were going insane here last night. And then Speedball still finding the energy to just hurl himself into the air and do these incredible, that spot that he did, just that standing flip thing he does is just insane.
So good.
Taking a hit onto the railing thing there, and Fletcher just pummeling this guy at points where you just okay, that's it. Okay, sorry, Speedball. It was nice watching you. And then he does these spinning kicks and stuff. And then this was such a good, these two pictures right here. I mean, Speedball doesn't believe it. And look at Fake King, who recently chatted with Cowboy on ALW.
Doppelstinger.
The Doppelstinger was right there. Look at how surprised. I think Speedball was as surprised as all of us. And then, except the other person that was surprised was Kyle Fletcher. And Kyle is so good at these kind of reactions. Like his just, huh? What? Me lose? It was such a good reaction. What a great match of the year. Put it in the ballot. I mean, I cannot think of any other, right now, maybe it's recency bias. I can't think of another Dynamite match that was better than this one.
I'm sure Ospreay has had some, but yes, recency bias, like you said, I think it's just so fresh. We're just so stoked about it. And man, did these two put on such a performance last night? And it was like standing ovation. Crowd was going crazy for it. We were going crazy for it. Social media is going crazy for it. Incredible clinic. These guys set the bar for the rest of the Continental Classic, set the bar for the rest of the night in Dynamite, and was incredible. And Kyle, we have had him as our top performer time and time again on our show. And he is my top performer of the night. Without spoiling it too much, because not only just because he's that good and he's that guy, he is him, but look at his facials, like you showing right here, is right there. He has limitless potential. He has such great offense, such great selling, such great swagger. Like the total package is Kyle Fletcher. Yeah. And last night's reminder for Speedball was such a great reminder of who he is. Him and Kevin Knight have been doing great stuff with their tag team, and yes, hopefully they can, now that we have heel champs, maybe they can start to get back into the title picture and potentially dethrone FTR and have a nice heel run. But both guys have really showcased their solo singles stuff going on. And this is what I love so much about the tournament, is because like you look at who's in the bracket here, we still are going to get Speedball versus Kevin Knight, and which is I think that one will go for a draw, which would make sense because their team, you don't want to have one be like the alpha and one not. I think that's a great a way to have a draw, and we haven't seen draws. I'm surprised we haven't seen draws, but there's so many great matchups still ahead in the Continental Classic. But man, this was such an awesome match. Like it's hard to really put it into words other than just wow, incredible. The amount of false finishes, everyone got their stuff in. They got their stuff in and then some. I was shocked at how many false finishes, and it just played into so much of the toughness and the never quit of both guys. And I loved it, man. After that commercial break, it was pedal to the metal, full throttle on this one. A+ match.
So good. You've already hinted who your top performer is. I bet. Let's see if everybody can guess who mine was, and I'll give you a hint. It wasn't Kyle Fletcher, but it almost was. But I bet you can guess who it was after us talking about this. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Steven said Gold League is wide open.
Gold League is wide open. Excellent stuff. Let's wow. Look at this. Just insane. And this none of these are just a taste.
I know.
As Doc says, these are just a taste of what happened. You do yourself a favor. If you only could watch one match, watch the women's tag team match too, but watch two matches. Watch this one and then watch the women's tag team match. It was fantastic. Let's we need to start. I need to start updating some of these. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll do a couple. Now we need a Swerve one. We should get a Babes of Wrath one. Why don't you don't you have the Feel the Wrath one?
I have the Feel the Wrath. But we got to do a new one like that. But I'm also thinking we need to have a what's it called? Like you said, Swerve. What is his new song? It's about Bojangles? Is that
the first time I heard his new theme song, I was like, oh no, I miss his old one. But his new one is growing on me. And especially that Nana is still dancing to it. But I do like his. I'm starting to like his theme song more and more, even though I do love his old one.
Why don't we go old school Bucks, because the Bucks have gone babyface again.
Yeah,
Super
buddy.
Chat Party. There we go.
It's the tag team of the BRs. We got Brent Ross and Brian, like the double BRs. You guys could be a tag team.
The BR brothers. Very
Hold
good.
on.
Very good.
Brian, you ready?
Yep.
Wait, where's it going? How come it's not? Is it? Oh, there we go. There we go.
The other way. All right. There we go. Woo! And there's the Blue League. Blue League's kind of still open too.
So that's the thing. It's like, 3 points per win. Moxley has 2 more matches. He could easily, win the last 2 and be at 9 points. And Takeshita could, be at 9 points too. Like, I feel like it's tough, man. Both leagues are hard to, blue and gold are tough to predict. Very tough to predict.
Have we had Claudio versus Takeshita yet before in AEW?
I feel like we have.
We had to have.
I feel like
it has to be. Tell us in the chat. Did we have Claudio versus Takeshita? Because good gravy, am I looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, Sisters of Sin and yes.
The BR Bros.
The BR Bros. I love it. Oh, look at this. Getting in a thank you.
Oh, all right, getting in on the action.
We haven't done let's play the for the last time because I'm going to get rid of it to make room for some new super chats. But this is this was the old
Mina?
Hounds of Hell when when it was Buddy Matthews and
I'm into the super chat, the snake.
Well, here we go. For the snake, here is the Hounds for the last time.
The creepiest one too.
I love that Ghost Rider one. Definitely.
Thank you, Steven. Getting slivered, like you said, making into the super chat party.
This is
I like that.
Full Tilt Deb. She wants to do. All right, this is Full Tilt Deb Okada super chat. It didn't do the thing. There we go. All right, so we'll load him up.
An Okada one with the Ching, and then you have him laughing with all his smirky faces, and at the end going, "Bitch."
Awesome, I love it. Thank you, Snake. So we're gonna come up with some new ones. Do you guys still want the Mina one? I'll update that one a little bit, maybe because it repeats a little too much.
Update it to the Babes Are Rat, Babes Are Rat, Timeless.
Babes Are Rat. Yep, the Timeless Love Bombs.
Yeah, the team we never thought we'd ever get.
Talk about this is the equivalent of the BR brothers right here.
That is the BR Bros on the left.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. And Hobbs, I still am having a hard time taking Shibata as a heel seriously, but it's not cringe. But like Hobbs and just Swerve and everybody. I can't believe I don't have a Hangman one.
We had that Hangman intro for our All In, so it was that was like a big Hangman thing. Our All In intro. Honestly, Shibata I think did a pretty good job heel work last night. I think playing to the crowd and especially that up by the concessions. When he did that, the running then stop then kick swerve off the chair. Shtick. So. He's working at it, and I think it'll work, especially being next to Snarlface Hobbs. But wow, I love the presentation. I love the entrance of both Swerve and Hangman coming through the crowd with the chains, just slow, methodical, evil, pissed off face. They're pacing down there and waiting for the dojo, the Ops Dojo crew to come up and get staple guns to the face and the back and everywhere in between. But man, this was great. And it was smart booking because it's like they had their separate moments, but then they finally were teaming together in a sense. And then you had that long stare down too. And Hangman, man, he looks like a heel and angry. I know he's pissed off. He lost his belt and he's on a revenge tour. But there it is. That was that long standoff near the end before the finish.
This was cinema, though. The two of them right here, they're like, they you can feel it. The hate is there. They're like it's bubbling. And then Hobbs had to go and just run his mouth, and they both. It was like a scene in like Roadhouse or something. They're getting ready to fight, and then some idiot runs their mouth, and they both just turn, and they just look, and it's like all that tension just turns. And Hobbs, and they even said it, "You effed up, dude," and he did. Oh, that was great. That was cinema right there. These are two of the best wrestlers right now in everything.
Right.
In emotion, in explosiveness, and just overall start. And these are two guys that it didn't come easy. They had to really earn their spot. But Hangman from the get-go, he's an OG day one AEW, BT, all that. But he never quite clicked like he did until this second run for the belt. Even his first title run, it was all right, but this is when he really is like the man. Swerve came in, was kind of fighting himself, kind of went heel, Keith Lee and all this and all that. Now, the two of them almost like fire and fire. They almost made each other better stars. You know what I mean? like they've almost made each other the top stars by just not osmosis, but like iron sharpening iron together. And those are the two
feud
stars.
with those guys was one of the most impactful feuds and influential moments in AEW, and it really uplifted both guys to me like tenfold.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a winner and loser in certain parts, and people got their house burned down, and house broken into, and whatever it
Blood was drunk.
Blood was drunk.
Were stapled.
But that they are now blood brothers.
Needles.
And they are both top guys. Will always be in the top contender talk from that feud.
Yeah.
And there's nothing taken away. They like you said, I love what you said about how they had to earn everything they got. They didn't start at the top. They started at the bottom. Now they work their way to the top with hard work, battles, and amazing stuff they've been doing in and out of the ring in AEW. So
I was going to call them. I was going to call them this is AEW's Rock and Stone Cold, but that doesn't even really qualify it because they're their own people. They're their own superstars. Like they're AEW's Hangman and Swerve. I mean, they are exactly where they are. They are the top. Neither one of them has the belt, and yet they carry themselves as the top guys. And they are. They've earned that spot, and it's the subtleties. They both have such a great awareness of the subtleties, the looks they give each other, like here, the look that just the reactions, the things that they do. I've always said this about Swerve and Hangman. They both have this uncanny awareness of how to get a reaction from the crowd, and even though just the subtle stuff. This was poetic. Every time they wrestle, Courtney says the Thelma and Louise, Ebony Ivory, Thelma and Louise. Yeah, you're right.
Batman,
Simon
Robin,
Garfunkel,
Batman
whatever.
Joker.
Yeah, Batman Joker. Exactly. But I love these two guys. These are my two favorites right now, and I can't wait to see what's next for them. I guess we got to talk about
we'll see a four-way. Rumors of a four-way match at World's End with these two and Samoa Joe, and then possibly rumors of MJF. Who knows? We'll see. It's quick. This Saturday will be 2 weeks to World's End, so you have no matches announced.
Was it a week from tomorrow or a week from this Saturday? I'm flying out to Chicago, so we're gonna be there with Gigi. My mom is going to be there next to us. She's going to be sitting there like Sue Beretta, Sue Marscallo, or it's Sue Marscallo, but Trent's mom. But all right,
have a blast.
SVD, let's
it's time for the main event.
It's time for the main event.
Did you see Danielson's promo after off air? By Eddie Kingston?
No.
He got on the mic off air and was just hyping Eddie Kingston in his, having the most heart in AEW. And, how he also said this on commentary too, about how he used to, call him the king of bums and all that. But it was definitely an awesome babyface promo, helped uplift Eddie even more. We know he was very vulnerable with his promos and leading up to this match, which is one of the main reasons we love Eddie, because he's real. But if you haven't seen it, go back and listen to it. And then Eddie gets on the mic really quick too, and send off the crowd home. But hard hitting, and I wish this had a little bit more build, like we talked about last week. There was no doubt in my mind that Joe was going to win. But if this had more of a build and this was deeper into Joe's run, I would be more convinced. And especially this just gave us more insight and more, wind in Eddie's sail too. Even though he lost, I feel like he's gained that steam even more. And, I know they were chanting Joe, 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 and Joe was doing his promo, but you kind of really had that true heel babyface. You know, you didn't have many Joe chants, which they got when Hangman was fighting him.
Do you know what you didn't hear? Nobody's chanted Joe is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Because the scarier MFer in that ring was Eddie Kingston, because Eddie Kingston might actually set you on fire. And that, I always love the joke Simon Miller does it. A lot of people do it, and I'm with him. It's like, you sometimes wonder, does Eddie really get it that this is wrestling? This is not real? Like, because he's the most likely to truly set Joe on fire if it happened. Right. But and that's all to his authenticity. That's what makes Eddie Kingston so great. I really dug his Sam Crow biker jacket that he had last night. I thought that was a really almost an upgrade look. And anytime a wrestler comes to the ring with new gear, you start to wonder, and then of course you see the fake out confetti floating down. They got me.
I'll have to go back and watch that, because I didn't notice it, honestly.
Yeah, it's floating down, and you're starting to go, wait a second, what's going on here? And it was almost a little too obvious towards that right before the bell rang.
Yeah, Eddie kind of needed some new ring. So that leather vest, kind of like inner circle style, which I absolutely loved when they were rocking those vests, works well. Definitely works well for him, biker style on it. So, but this, I'm Eddie tapping out versus passing out. That's a whole other storyline there. He did push Joe pretty hard, pretty physical in this match. Do you feel the crowd was still pretty hot? It was tough. They went through some insane emotions, all this, but this was rightfully so the main event. And I'm curious, I understand, I know this was built in a great moment, but now I'm like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Now what? I hate to look to the future and just enjoy what we got, but yeah, it was a great tribute to Cena on that, because
that was great.
Everyone doing the Cena tributes. I have no problem with that. Speaking of that, not to get sidetracked, did you see the screenshot? I don't know if I sent it to you, of when they were doing the tweets live on AEW. It said something about WWE would not book this match or something like that. Did you ever see that?
I guess. I mean, I don't care.
No, but it was funny because someone talked about WWE and AEW put it on air.
Oh, real? That's interesting that they would actually choose to put that on there. Well, it's fine. I mean, I'm just kind of like, I don't even want to talk about him. It's like, why even bring him up? I mean, it's like, don't talk about McDonald's when you were sitting down at a steak dinner.
Yeah,
this was such a great. I'm bothered by the ending, not because it was wrong. It bothered me because I think it was supposed to bother me. Does that make sense? Like, I was really like, Eddie's like one of the ultimate underdogs, and to watch him tap out instead of go out was not what I was expecting.
Yeah,
but that's almost why I think it was actually the right move. I mean, in UFC, people tap out all the time,
right?
In UFC, I mean, this in UFC that happens a lot, and he's tapping out before he dozes off. So I'm kind of thinking like, I'm kind of thinking that this was he had to lose to Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
but I almost feel like it would have been too cliche for him to just pass out. So tapping out, I think that's kind of a, now Samoa Joe can move on to another opponent and then eventually lose. And
I don't see a rematch coming anytime soon.
No.
Sadly. This is what I was talking about. Look what in the left there.
Wow. WWE could never put on a great match like this. No.
It's kind of funny that whoever put those up, kind of let that slide.
I mean, I'm almost, I mean, as true or not, I almost feel like AEW I thought they were kind of moving on from that, where let WWE be petty.
That at all. Yeah.
What's that?
I don't think they needed to do that at all. I don't know if that was an error or someone was like, haha, F you, in the truck, I don't think TK is, putting these tweets up there. So maybe there would be some backlash or something to that. But I was like, wow, that's kind of surprising for that to see that. But because we're just, this is where the best wrestle, and AEW is where the best wrestle. We're seeing such great shows. Collision's going to be insane. Next week's 3-hour show is going to be insane. The Elite is reuniting for the first time in 800 days, which I cannot wait. Hopefully what's next after they win that $1 million is the Ops in getting the trios belts back. I want to see an Elite reuniting to win the trios. The trios need some life.
Here we go. Apparently MJF is allegedly finished filming his movie and he may be back by World's End.
Dang. Yeah, there's the rumors, but I mean, I think you can't just have a surprise return for a match. Maybe he can surprise return at the end of one of the matches. That would be great. It'd be so much better. But a lot's coming in the next leading up to our final line of the draft. Before we talk about our top performers of the night, let's talk about our draft standings. Points are few and far between. So what could really catapult?
Yep. All right.
What could really catapult someone is the +3 on the bingo card.
Yep. +3 would actually get me closer to Cray. Anything can happen. And look at the Caboose sisters tied again. Choo choo.
I thought we had on motion, or I was trying to play the drizzling shits thing, but I guess we don't have that.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Top performers of the night. I mentioned mine, Fletcher, total package, real deal. And of course, I mean, need you say more about Bailey's performance? I mean, that was superstar performance worthy.
I mean, this was match of the night, match of the month, top 5. I'm going to argue top 3 match of the year candidate. This was phenomenal. The two of these guys left everything out there. So many great near falls, not cliche near falls like an FTR or Bucks match, which I love. Don't worry, I'm not bagging on them, but good gravy, it was fantastic.
I want to ask you about this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this would be great, cashing in his contract to be new champ. But isn't his stipulation now he has to give an advance notice?
Yeah, he has to do a week's advance notice. So
but
that doesn't mean that the week before World's End, Tony Khan gets a mysterious letter.
Right. This was by his lawyer Mark Sterling saying that this was time stamped a week before, letting you know I want to cash it in.
that would be great TV. Is if next week on Dynamite or next on Collision, Tony Khan, Mark Sterling shows up, Lexi Nair tries to interview him, or Alvarez tries to interview him, and he goes, I have an important delivery business with Tony Khan. And goes in and just closes the office. Yeah. And you just kind of wonder what it's all. They don't say anything else. Just say I have important business. And then MJF cashes in a week later. Yeah.
Something sneaky, I think, is going to happen with that. And something sneaky, I think hope does happen with that. And it's a shame that he has that week notice, because I love the element of surprise. I love the element of the money in the bank that WWE. That's one of the things I really do enjoy about the money in the bank is you never know when someone's going to cash it in, come out and seize the day. So he could pull that little sneaky snake, like Steven the Snake move, and do that. But that would be awesome. And before we sign off for tonight, if you could pick 1 or 2 matches for World's End, what do you see happening? Because we have the Continental Classic semis and finals, but I don't see I don't know what's next. For World's End, it's hard to predict, even though we're so close.
I like your idea of a fatal 4-way. Joe, Hanger, Swerve, and MJF. I think that would be, I don't know. I mean, Stat versus Hater. I can see that. I think they're building to, except, I mean, I wonder if it's going to be Stat Hater and Tekla, because we're going to see what they do with Tekla and the Sisters of Sin.
I want to see the trios titles defended, so I don't know if Joe will do double duty or will he try to pass it along to Hook, which is, it's weird because remember when the Bang Bang Gang had to forfeit their titles or something because one guy was hurt and they couldn't do it within the group. I don't know, but I do want to see the elite. It's probably going to be a 5-on-5 elite battle with Jurassic Express versus Don Callis family.
Yeah,
it's leading to that,
and I think that's when we'll see the Takeshita turn. I think that World's End. Yep.
There we go. And then we have, if they're not in the finals, you know, if Takeshita and Okada are not in the finals, they wouldn't be part of the 5-on-5.
You know what else?
What?
Claudio versus Moxley for leadership of the Death Riders.
But they could also be in the finals in the Blue League.
Yep.
Yeah, lots. I think, and then TNT title.
Did you notice? I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you notice Daniel Garcia interrupting Mox's promo last night?
I didn't think it was
Mox was cutting a promo and he was still kind of almost, he hadn't finished his, promo, his thought, and Daniel just jumps up and like the whole time Daniel's just kind of looking at Mox and almost shaking his head, and then Daniel just jumps in and takes over.
Right.
I wonder, I mean, I think they're planting the seeds. The Death Riders don't see Moxley as the leader that they used to.
That'd be very interesting.
Could Moxley have a plastic bag over his head in the future?
Oh, man, I know you guys want to see that, and I think it'd be brutal, but I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I honestly don't know if I'm ready for. I think they just need to, which they've been doing, regroup and refocus. Like you could see them slowly kind of feuding with people from the Callis family too. Like I don't know, it'll be interesting. I'm not ready for it either, FTD. For those of you in the cold fronts and snow, stay warm, bundle up. No snow.
Hey, if the world is cold, you better bundle up.
That's right. You better bring some extra long johns when you're going up to Chicago for Christmas.
Oh, you know it.
You see the Bears game is going to be like negative 20 degrees this weekend. Oh my gosh.
Hell of a game. Yeah, Bears game. Yeah. Those aren't pillows.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Episode 222. We appreciate it. Awesome, tight show on Dynamite. Home run. One of the best Dynamites so far. Winter is coming. It's Collision Edition live Saturday afternoon. And if you care, John Cena's farewell match and Saturday night main event. So a lot of wrestling on Saturday. And it was great. It's going to be a great day for pro wrestling.
Have a great night, everybody. And next week, more new super chats.
Yes, new super chats. 3 hours this Wednesday. I know. I can't wait.
Goodbye. And good night.
Stop.